Well, we've got our next guest on the GameFace ISO catch-ups. I think we'll call it Fuzz. Nominated by Kevin Lilac, Billy Rolfe. Welcome, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me. I'm surprised Kev's head could fit on this little screen here.
Sorry?
I'm surprised Kev's head could fit on this little screen here.
Look, you and Kev know each other pretty well. You played a year of footy together back in, 2000 and I'm going to say 12?
I think, yeah, maybe 2013.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I think it's a year after break.
Getting the flags mixed up. But,
2013.
yeah, against Mornington. But obviously you're wearing a Langy polo at the moment. And you've had your time at Somerville as well. But how are you coping with things at the moment, mate?
Yeah, mate, it's a bit weird at the moment. It's pretty tough. Obviously, we've all, speaking for all footy players, just put in a big pre-season, and for something to get taken away from you just this close to actual, the season starting, it's pretty tough. So, haven't really come to grips with it yet, but it is what it is, mate.
Well, thanks for agreeing to, coming on for a quick chat. Have you come on a GameFace footy show before, or would this be a first appearance for you? I think you might have smoke bombed us one night and Timmy came in on his own.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, I think I stood Dan Lonergan up because me and Amber, my girlfriend, actually organised a little dumpling date. So
that's right. It was a dumpling date.
So
Dan was asking many questions about that.
Well, Timmy doesn't mind a bit of airtime, so he would have loved to speak there by himself, I think.
Well, we will be expecting you to nominate somebody else from another club. We're hoping to get as many clubs involved as possible, but you have to think about who you want to nominate from another club. But what this is all about, Billy, is just to check in and see how you're travelling and see what the word is around the club and how things are, and also get to know a little bit more about you, because there's many people sitting at home at the moment looking at their phones, and if we can get them looking at more footy content, that's great for us and for the league and for all the clubs as well. So how have you guys been as a group coping with everything that's going on? Has there been much communication? Has Blake and Beatty been talking a lot, or what? How's that been?
Yeah. It's been not too bad. Like, obviously we got our footy chat group on Facebook that we always check in on. I know a lot of boys are still doing, their gym sessions at home, and they're still going for runs, whatnot. So we're obeying the rules that's been put in place by this whole coronavirus thing, but at the same time, we're getting the most out of it. So, in such a negative time, we're looking at the positives, and we're still training like we're going to play. Fingers crossed we do. But we're just taking it one step at a time, really. Yeah,
and every club is. I spoke to Aaron Pacey from Tired yesterday, and you asked me a question a bit earlier today. Do we know if the league are going to get things moving? And it seems like everything's coming from the AFL, so we've pretty much just got to wait. But good to hear you guys have got the mindset that most other clubs, that I've heard have as well, is just keep trying to prepare for as in we all are going to be playing. You spoke about some home workouts.
Yeah. Well, I know a few boys are just flogging Netflix and just spend time with their girlfriends. So don't want to name names, but Sean Herman's one of them. So if he could get his ass off the couch and do some work, that'd be great.
Speaking of Netflix, Rolfe, what have you been watching, and what have you been imitating?
Well, yeah, no footy's made me go a little bit crazy, plugger. So there's a thing on Netflix called Tiger King. If anyone's not really familiar with it, there's a guy called Joe Exotic who runs a tiger farm or tiger zoo. So in my bit of the spare time that I've had at home, I made a video on Facebook, and people got around it, which was good.
You just cut out a little bit, but everyone got the gist. It's an hilarious video, and we might even just pop the link in the comments if you haven't seen it, if that's all right with you, Billy. It's not the first time you've done something like that, mate. You don't mind getting dressed up and making a bit of a fool out of yourself. You don't care.
Yeah, as long as everyone's getting a bit of a laugh. I don't really mind if people are laughing at me or with me. As long as everyone's in good spirits, mate. That's all I'm after.
Can you give us a Carol Baskin's a bitch?
Carol Baskin's a bitch.
Too good. We'll keep it as
Is that going on? I hope not.
Well, look, you're in really good spirits, mate. You're still working. You're a plasterer, so everything's business as usual for you.
Pretty much, mate. Yeah, we've worked straight through at the moment. Yeah, so ever since this whole thing's happened, still going to work, still doing our normal routine. So that's why I'll probably be still in, a bit of a good spirit at the moment, because life's just normal, really, just without footy at the moment. So that's the only thing that's, a bit negative. But, still going to work, mate.
Yeah, well, the weather starts to get a bit colder and the nights don't last as long, and you haven't got footy to go to. It's definitely not fun. I noticed you're wearing a beanie at the moment, mate. I know it's getting cold, but is there another reason why you've got the beanie on?
Oh, look, Pugger, I'm glad you asked that question, because I've just chucked a little bit of bleach in. This is what I call a quarantine cut.
Who did it?
Amber did.
And Amber's the dumpling
I'm not
date
sure
lady?
the reason. What's that, mate?
Amber's the dumpling date lady?
I thought you said dumb for a second. Yes,
No,
dumb. But,
would never.
No, she is the dumpling girl. So I feel like that's Dan Lonergan's worst enemy.
Very good. Well, look, we've known each other for a fairly long time. We went to primary school together. But there's probably some things that people don't know about you, and you're a bit of a character. So we're going to try and get as much out of you as we can whilst we've got some access in your GameFace debut. I don't think I've even been able to get a post-game interview with you. You run away from the camera, but you've been good.
Oh, yeah. Right. Straight to the bar, mate.
Yeah, no, fair enough, like most do. How old are you, Billy?
I'm 26.
26. So have you reached your prime in your mind, or you've still got time?
No, there's still a long way to go, mate. Still a long way to go.
Actually, whilst we're speaking about prime, whilst we're speaking about prime and us knowing each other for a while and going to primary school together, how many goals did you kick in the Frankston Heights primary teachers versus students game in grade 6?
That is a great question. Jeez. Wow. Look, mate, I would have to round it off. It would have been about 15 or 16, I reckon.
because I've got Reece Derrick here from the GameFace team, and obviously he went to the same primary school as well. But you and a bloke named Daniel Hayden, when it was time to kick the footy around at lunch, everyone from probably prep to grade 5, you guys being in grade 6, thought you guys were going to play AFL. You got pretty close to getting into the league, didn't you?
I think that was just me telling them that I would make it, mate, to be honest. Looking back on it, people say, I was close in that, but, everyone has their bad luck story. But at the end of the day, I played a couple of years at Stingrays, got a couple of letters from different AFL clubs, but Tim likes to say I wasn't close at all, and they chose him over me. So we'll just run with that, mate.
Well, speaking about Stingrays, who are some of the blokes in your age group that you played rays with that are in the league now that you can remember?
Lockie Whitfield, pick number 1.
Yeah.
Who
that
else?
He stood out in the pack and.
Oh yeah. No, he was a gun and still is. Who else? Nathan Wright. He got delisted a couple of years ago, but I'm trying to think who else. That was probably the only 2 that
stand out.
Really, yeah, that stood out in that year. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have much VFL time?
Who's that, mate?
Myself. Did you have much VFL time?
I had a couple of years down at Dolphins, and then under Simon Goosey, and I remember he dropped me round 1. So I'm spewing that we're in lockdown, because I would have loved just to kick 5 in front of him against Morno.
Yeah, well, Mornington would have been obviously round 1 for you guys, and a bit of the unknown both ways. And that's another thing. There's a whole lot in the MPNFL Division 1, Division 2 season that we want answers for. But we're not just quite getting them at the moment. We spoke about your job. That's a plasterer. What's your nickname? Now, Kev had about 40 nicknames for us yesterday. If you could scale it back to 1 or 2, that'd be good.
Oh, yeah, I'm probably on par with Kev at the moment, but
Tiger King number 1.
Probably Fig Jam. Nah, mate. To be honest, it's Rolfe. Flash gets thrown around a bit.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
just to stop you, and Kevin's episode hasn't aired yet, but he ran with
Okay.
Flash as well.
no, he didn't.
He did.
I'm not too sure where he'll get Flash from, to be honest. But
Well, you'll find out when that airs a bit later. Us knowing that he nominated you, we're filming this a bit early, but relationship. So we've spoken a little bit about your missus. How long have you been with her now?
4 years, mate. 4
Very
years
good.
now.
And how
Yeah.
often do you go for dumplings?
Oh. Probably once a week, I reckon, mate.
There is
Once
a
a week.
locked-in date night dumplings. That's very good, mate.
Yeah, it's usually Saturday night too, so the boys aren't too happy about it.
Oh, well, got to do what you got to do. What car do you drive?
Triton.
Very good. Had it for a while?
Yeah, I've had it for about, I think, 3 to 4 years now.
Yeah. So it's lasted the exact same amount as the girlfriend, so things are good in that world too.
Yeah.
Tattoos?
Yeah, I've got a few, mate. I've got a couple on my wrists, a couple on the rig. I'm not going to get the rig out, but
No, that's all right.
There's a few there as well.
We would have liked it, but that's cool. Primary school and high school.
As you know yourself, mate, Frankston Heights Primary School.
Underrated place.
Underrated. Just, yeah. You know, probably the best. You're probably the best thing to come out of that joint, actually.
High school.
And that's saying something, isn't it? Well, Frankston High, mate. Frankston High, and then went to Cedar.
Yeah.
The sports.
In the soccer division.
The footy, mate. Yeah, not the soccer one.
Down in Jubilee Park.
Yeah, just where the hockey.
Monash.
The hockey field. Yeah, Monash Uni.
Monash.
Yeah.
Very good. Junior club. Not many people. Well, people that know you would know this, but not a lot of people would know where you played juniors, would they?
Yeah. So I played my juniors at Frankston Rovers Footy Club. Was there from under 9s to 16s, and then played a bit of Stingrays, and then went to YCW after that for a year.
And then a couple of years at Summy, and now for the Kangas, and that's your second or third year. Second year.
This will be my second year.
Ben, have they got you on a lengthy contract, or is it just play it by ear?
No. After the year I put in last year, mate, I'm pretty much playing for a bloody bag of chips and a can of Coke this year.
Do you believe in God, Billy?
Do I believe in God? Yes, I do.
Very good. Favorite food?
My family is a big Catholic family, so I think they'll kick me out of the house if I didn't, to be honest.
Good, mate. Good. Favorite food?
Oh, Parma. Can't go past it.
Now, careful about how you answer this, but where's the best Parma in Langwarren?
I think the only Parma in Langwarren's bloody the pub. But
wouldn't be Beretta's on your top right corner of your polo shirt, would it?
It is, mate. Yeah, shout out to Beretta's, our major sponsor.
I had to string you through on that one.
Yeah, mate. You can't go past the Beretta's Parma. Kelly's pub, mate.
And you have to try their schooners as well. They're fantastic.
Oh, everything down there is just $1 million, mate. Yeah, that was a close one.
That's too good. What's your worst habit?
My worst habit? Oh, I've got a few habits, to be honest. But I swear a lot. That's not good.
You swear a lot?
I do. Yeah.
No, you've kept it pretty clean today.
Yeah, I know. I've been pretty good so far.
Man crush.
Man crush. Joel Bateman.
Joel Bateman, the man that came back.
Left field. He's Mr. Smooth, they call him, down at Lloyd Park.
He's very underrated, Joel Bateman.
And I'll give you two, actually. Shane Patterson, Patto.
Yeah, well, we notice Patto is your cover photo on Facebook.
He is, mate. Yeah, he's the ultimate male, that bloke.
Catching an absolute barrel. I just had a look at that before.
Just hanging 10.
No, he's a good man as well, Patto. some footy related stuff now. AFL team and favourite player.
My team's the Blues, and does that have to be past or present?
Yeah, give us one from the past and give us one from the present, and give us your most hated as well that you've had to support.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give him my most hated first up, and that was Alan Didak. Sorry, mate, but Alan Didak, he's on the top of the list. And
remember that
my player. Hey, mate.
What about the torp he kicked against the Blues?
Don't remember that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Carry on.
Yeah. And my favourite past player, I'm going to say Andrew McLeod.
Yep.
And my favourite current player, it's hard to go past, Cripper, Paddy Cripps.
Yeah. Absolute superstar. It's probably not at his best yet either.
Absolutely not.
And look, as a Carlton fan, you were probably hoping things were going to be a bit better this year as well. And round one didn't trend that way. It's a long season. What were your beliefs and how are you feeling about the Blue Baggers?
The Blues? Oh, all my beliefs pretty much got put to bed after that round one performance. We obviously showed promising signs through the pre-season tournament, but I think the Tigers were just too good. They're going to be hard to beat. Or that's if they play this year, but they just looked $1 million against us. It might be just us.
You've stuck with the Blues, which is good. Have you had any known mates that have jumped clubs, or players that you know that you play with, or any people you know that have jumped clubs that you want to throw under the bus? Because it's just not a great thing to do.
It's a coward act in it. And Tim McGuinness, he was a Saints man growing up, but then obviously loved his blue and whites. Once he got drafted, just relished North Melbourne, and then once he left North Melbourne, he started the barrack for the Gold Coast Suns, which was interesting. So I don't understand Tim a lot. Maybe
he wanted a second entry and was just trying to show them that he had a real deep love for them, and if they needed a top up player, he was their man.
Well, I did hear he sent his highlights in from last year to them, so we'll see how that goes.
Very good. Your favourite position on the footy field?
Half forward flank.
Yeah. And where do you usually play?
Where do I usually? Usually, the last 4 or 5 years, been on the flank. And then at the start of this year, actually, because I pretty much didn't go near the footy last year, they chucked me in the guts. So, I quite enjoyed that.
And did you get a cracky match in?
Yeah, we got one in. We played Phillip Island up at Phillip Island, and we ended up beating them by, I think it was like 2 or 3 goals. It is a pracky match at the end of the day, but I think they were premiership. Yeah, I think they won the flag 3 years in a row in their league. So
Cam Pedersen
was a good win. Yeah, he was. That's good coverage, player.
No, he's solid. He's solid for that league anyway. Just plugging the NFL.
Yeah. Just like a plug for anything.
Best player you've ever played with and against?
Best player I've ever played against.
And with.
What's that, mate?
And with.
Okay. Shane McDonald. He springs to mind. Paul Rogash, he's won games off his own boot against us. And best player I've ever played with. Scotty Simpson's year at Sammy was unbelievable. Steve Roberts at YC.
Yeah.
That's another man crush you can throw in there too. It was, I loved watching him play. And even, the Barrys, Byron and Bundy.
Yeah.
They spring to mind. And obviously Tim McGuinness, he told me to say this. So, Timmy there as well, chucking Tim.
Yes, well, Timmy, he's a bloody good player and he's a bloody good mate. So good to hear you're throwing him under the bus here. We won't throw him under the bus too much though, because we love the access we get with that bloke. Family members that have played footy.
My dad played locally up at Chadstone. Not much going from there. But
sorry, Dad.
I might have to move on to his brother Doug. He played for Paran. And my pops my pop's dad played for Perenn. He was full forward of the century there. So George Hawkins, his name was. So that's probably as far as the family tree goes.
Yeah, and you're just carrying the rest of it at the moment.
I'm just letting the team down at the moment.
Now, it's a similar question to best you've ever played against, but probably more of a current situation. Most promising you've ever played with?
Most what, sorry?
Promising.
Promising. Mitch Cuthbert, definitely. Yeah, Mitch Cuthbert, could definitely take his footy further if I thought.
He's got the size for it.
He's got the size. He's got, a good head on his shoulders as well. And, yeah, he can play on small forwards, tall forwards. He obviously did a good job on Holty last year. And then I think he played on Aaron Walton as well and kept him to a couple. So his versatility is
dominant forwards in Div 2 last year. Cuthbert, and he's only, what would he be, a couple of years younger than you, or?
Yeah, I think he's like 22, 23, I think.
Yeah. So plenty of footy for Mitchy Cuthbert when we get back to it. But he definitely had a good year last year. That's a great answer, Billy. Toughest teammate?
Sean Herman.
Funniest teammate?
Yeah. Funniest teammate? There's two of them. There's Cody Howard and Jason Curry. Yeah, they have a language of their own, them two.
White line fever? Who is it?
Blake Peachy. Yeah.
Best supporter?
Dan McGuinness. Timmy's brother. I think he's like the most hated bloke in the league just because what he yells out behind the fence. But he's great for the club and he's great for having a beer with as well.
I've seen Timmy's brother up the club having a few beers. He gets involved, and no matter where Timmy's playing footy, he's there to watch him and have a few beers with him, which is fantastic. I'd love to see Lee Paholke and Timmy's brother go at a yelling match deep in the goal square. That'd be pretty funny.
Oh, that might happen one day, mate. Be careful.
Jumping down to double points, Fuzz. Now we're really not playing for points, but they're double points because essentially you can answer them or not answer them, and we want to be careful here at GameFace as well. And my voice keeps cracking, so I've got to cough. Pretty much we're going to go into the first girl you kissed.
Oh God. I don't remember, mate. I'm trying to think of it.
Mustn't have meant much to you, Billy.
What's that, mate?
Mustn't have meant much then.
Oh, yes. The worst part is if I actually say her name, and because I've been thinking about it for that long, it's probably going to look worse. So I'm just going to pass on that.
Fair enough, mate. Name a player from another team that you'd beat in a fight.
I'll beat in a fight. Sean Foster. Easy.
Oh, what a man.
I want him to buy back.
What a man. Are you a boxers, jocks, or free ball man?
Oh, depends on the situation, Plug.
All right. You've just woken up on a Sunday morning.
Right now I'm free bowling. If you really... But I'm actually wearing no pants. I'm a jocks man. Yeah.
Very good.
I'm a jocks man.
Kev said briefs. He really wanted people to know that he wears briefs. So
briefs. Is that the short jocks?
Yeah, just normal jocks. But he wanted to make sure everyone knew they were briefs.
Oh, thanks, Kev. Thanks for letting us know, mate. Cheers.
Folder or scruncher? Now, this is a big one.
No, scruncher.
Yeah.
Definitely scruncher. Are you a scruncher?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
No, don't you start asking me questions. This is GameFace's interview.
Yeah, I was trying to...
Have you ever run away from a fight?
I probably should have, because every time I've been in one, I've just got mocked. So, no, I haven't.
Whilst we're on it, who have you been in a fight with and you've come out worse for wear?
I remember, so we used to go camping, my family, up at the caravan park, and I was 16 at the time. And this 22-year-old was kicking our footy away every time we had a kick, and this was stewing on for a couple of days, and I just said to my mates, like, it's time now, like, that I go up to him and say something. And I was riding my bike, and I did a little whip in front of his girlfriend. And apparently she was pregnant at the time, so she got caught off balance, and then he yelled out something to me, and I went up to him and swung, missed him, and he just hit me, knocked me out, and then I got 12 stitches and got concussed and got driven straight to Rogal Hospital. So that's the only fight I've been in. Yeah.
Far out. Well, after 22 on 16, mate. That's the whip.
I could have taken it further, Plug. I could have taken it further, but
you could have. But you knew that you caught him off guard with the whip. You don't do that, so you just have what you got.
From memory, I reckon one of the pegs might have clipped her ankles. So
it's like the scooter in the ankle. That's no good.
Yeah, the harmonica challenge.
Oh, well, that's a fantastic story, Rolfe. Thanks for enlightening us with that one. All right. I wouldn't answer this personally, but teammate with the hottest misses.
Amber might watch this, so I'm just going to say myself.
Good answer. Spell magnificent.
MAGNIFICENT.
Very good. Very good. Who was the best teacher that made sure you got that right?
Oh, Mrs. Oak.
She was an art teacher. What movie makes you cry, Billy?
What movie makes me cry? God. Geez. I'm going to say Harry Potter.
Like
Harry Potter makes me cry. The ending was pretty bad. The last one, that was pretty fucking sad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We've got a swear word in there. Good stuff.
Yeah, I know. So we won't air that one.
No, we might. We'll see. Best meal you can cook?
Best meal I can cook? Would be pretty basic, I would have thought. Nachos. I make good nachos.
Nachos, very nice.
Shredded beef, slow cooker, 24-hour.
Oh, so you put a day in it. It's not just mincemeat or mincemeat. What am I saying? It's not just your salsa, cheese, and cheesy Doritos and chuck it in the microwave. It's a full.
It's a gourmet setup.
Very good, mate. I was going to say something else. I'm not going to go with it. Well, Billy, you've been fantastic, mate. I hope. Actually, you know what? There's one more question. Who would be the person you are going to nominate?
Just before I nominate, Plug, I just want to send my thoughts and prayers out to the Summy Footy Club. Obviously, they're going through a bit of a tough time with Jeff Hibbard and Jason De Silva going missing, and just anyone that's involved with the Hibbard family and the De Silva family. I just want to send my thoughts and prayers out to them.
Fantastic, Billy. And shout out to the Summy Footy Club. Calling out a player now. You're a pretty well-connected man in the league. You're one of the better blokes that run around. So you've got friends at other clubs. Who would be the man that you would like to nominate to chat with the ISO GameFace challenge?
Oh, mate, the first bloke that comes to my mind would be my good friend Jono Ross, Quaddies
Ross.
He's up next.
Okay. Well, I believe I could get in contact, or GameFace could get in contact with Jono.
Beautiful.
Where'd the friendship of you and Jono come from?
We actually started being mates after that bushfire pill cricket game. And yeah, we both know sort of how to work a crowd a little bit, and we both love a beer, so that's sort of how we connected. But on that day, we were both saying who was the better wicket keeper, and if you ask Jono, he'll say he is, but if you ask me, obviously I'm going to say myself. So then there's a bit of that competitive drive there. So ever since that, we've just been good mates.
Fantastic. We'll give Jono a call and see if he's up for it, but we really appreciate your time this afternoon, Billy, and thanks to the Langy Footy Club for giving us access to yourself as well. You've plugged Berettas, you've plugged Rams on your polo. Make sure you're looking after the sponsors out at Lang Warren. You've been fantastic, mate. Any last words from you?
No, mate. Just, yeah, check in on your mates. Obviously, we're all going through a bit of a tough time. It's, footy being taken away from us. But, yeah, we'll get through it, guys.
Fantastic, Billy. Thanks again, mate. And we'll chat soon. Get your game face on.
Thanks, Plugger. Cheers.
Good work, mate.